Yeah. It was, all the conversations we had about our game plan and how we wanted to execute it. And the guys went out and executed it to a T. I thought we did a tremendous job on the defensive end of the floor. And, offensively, we shared the game. We had different points of the game where somebody else was stepping up. You go through, obviously, Donovan and our starters, but then you throw in Rolo. Right, and Rolo's contributed on both ends of the floor. So I think today was a complete team effort. I thought it was a great job.
You mentioned Rolo. I'm curious, is the Junkyard Dog chain back, and who got it?
The Junkyard Dog chain is back, and it was awarded to Rolo tonight. Yeah, and his teammates loved it.
I'll let you take a sip of water before I ask you that question.
Thank you.
What stood out to you the most about how Donovan, just the ease that he played with in facilitating? I mean, obviously his stat line's ridiculous, but what stood out to you most about how he easily facilitated others?
Just his composure all the time, and his ability to stop runs, and it wasn't always the bucket. It was getting us organized, finding a set, and getting guys the ball. So he never got sped up. He controlled the game from beginning to end.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. J.B., last year, you guys were a completely different team without Darius Garland. What do these kinds of games show about the maturation and the growth of this team?
That we're prepared for the moment. And, we miss Darius. When we're healthy, we're going to be a really dynamic team. But our guys are committed to what we're trying to get done. And whether it's perfect, whoever's number's called, guys are prepared to just go out and help. And, obviously, we've got veteran guys, you look at Kevin's performance, obviously Donovan, Rolo, Vert, Jetty, we've got veteran guys who have been there before. But just collectively figuring out a way, what do we need to do to get the job done?
I think there were a few times throughout the course of training camp that Kevin Love said something along the lines of the strength of the team is the team. Is that something that has come from you, or is that something that he came up with on his own?
That's something that we came up with, and it's just been the message for the past 2 years to our guys. And it's the reality of it, right? Every night, we might not be the most talented team on the floor, but we can be the best team on the floor. And we take that seriously. And it's something, that we try to grow every single day. It's not something that when the lights tip on, we fake it. Our guys genuinely, care about each other on a level that I haven't seen on a team before. And, guys are out, they don't want to let each other down. They want to support each other. They want to help one another. And it is special what's in that locker room.
Thank
you. Zach Cram from The Ringer. I'm curious, pretty early in the first quarter, Donovan was called for a take foul in transition. I'm just wondering, given that it's only a couple games since in the new season, what you think of the new rule?
I think it's a good rule, for sure. You want to give guys an opportunity to play. You want to see the transition opportunities and those types of things. I think for all of us, it's going to take some time to get calibrated, because I thought, and I could be wrong in full speed, that he made a play on the ball. So, coaches, players, referees, all of us just have to find a way to calibrate what is actually a take foul. But I think it's a great rule to give guys opportunity to play fast break basketball and play in space.
Is that something that you've noticed at all in the first two games? Obviously, you had a lot of fast break opportunities tonight. Were there ever any times where you're like, oh, maybe last year that could have been a take foul and slowed us down, but we had that
right? I think guys are conscious of it, to where you're not going to put yourself in a compromising situation even to reach out and take that foul. So the flow of the game is much better, and I think the league was spot on when they made that decision.
Thanks.
Jasmine Wimbish, CBS Sports. You mentioned Kevin Love's performance tonight. He had a double-double, I think. he hit some big shots to stop runs, and it felt like he was kind of leading out there on the floor. How crucial is it to have someone of his caliber with championship experience, veteran leadership on this team with all these young guys to be out there on the floor?
I mean, it's extremely important. Again, it's somebody you can lean on, somebody you can depend on, somebody who's not shook by the moment. You mentioned it, like gold medalist, all-star, champion. There's no moment he hasn't seen, and there's nothing he hasn't been through and not overcome. So he doesn't get rattled. You know what I mean? He just takes the next shot, makes the next basketball play. And not only offensively, but you think about the charges that he took and how those stop runs and how those finish possessions. So a guy who's willing to sacrifice so much for this team, without even using words, it shows what everybody else has to follow. And that's how we follow him, and he leads us.
Go with the last one, Chris. J.B., Donovan tonight did something that's never been done before in Cavs franchise history. I know you had high expectations when you got Donovan. Has he been even better than you anticipated?
Yeah, because you don't know him. You know what I mean? Like, you see all the dynamic things he does on the floor, but until you coach him and you're with him every day, you don't really know him. And just getting to know him as a person and his character and how he is as a teammate, I mean, you could not ask for anything more. When you're capable of playing at the level that he's capable of, and you're still willing to embrace your teammates at the level that he does, that is extremely rare and unique, and we are truly lucky to have him with us.
And I know numbers are numbers, but
What did he do that no one's ever done in the Cavaliers before?
30 points in back-to-back games.
Oh.
You guys outscored the Bulls by 41 points with Jetty Osman on the court. Can you speak to Jetty's impact on this one tonight?
Yeah, just stick-to-itiveness, right? And what we've told Jetty is, like, he's not a make-or-miss player. He is a two-way impact guy. And, we will never take him out for missing a shot because he has the ability to be a spark plug on both ends of the floor. And we know that. So, we want him to continue to contribute at the level that he's contributing. But, there's an odd thing, and you can't put it in numbers and all that stuff. But, Jetty's got a boom spirit where, his shot goes in, he gets a steal, a run out, a layup. It's uplifting. And our guys feel that. And, his personality, whatever it may be, our guys thrive off of his energy, and it's important that we keep that high and his confidence high because you see the impact that he can have.